Hey everyone, and welcome to TradeWiseNet. Right, so I'm here with the stock picks for July 2025. I've got five picks that I've worked on, and these, of course, so just before I get started, quick note to say that the trades that I take are based on my book. That's Profitable Hedging and Trade Management Techniques in Forex Trading, and the strategies that I employ are explained with examples. There, you're going to get a copy of that on Amazon, and the stocks that I'm going to talk about are based on fundamental analysis and technical analysis, so I will be switching over to the charts to talk about them. Right, so without any further ado, let's straight get into it. The first one that I've picked for July is the Berkshire Hathaway stock. Um, a few things to note: it's a very diversified stock, very strong cash flows that the company has, very strong holdings, of course, like Apple, and it has a steady upside, which we will see in the charts. It has strong fundamentals, really, strong book value, which is growing. It's paying a healthy dividend. There is the earnings coming up in July, so keep an eye on that. But overall, a very strong stock. So onto the charts then. Um, so you see I use TradingView for my analysis, and I use a couple of indicators. So there is the QQE signals indicator that I use, and then there is the MACD, which you see at the bottom of the screen there. Um, so as I was saying, that the earnings are coming up sometime in July, so keep an eye on that. But you can see here that the two moving averages, so the black one is a 200-day, and the red one is the 100-day, um, is the 50-day moving average, and this is the daily time frame chart. So overall, it has been respecting the 200-day moving average quite well. It has taken a dip since mid-April, May or so. Now it is kind of bouncing off the 200-day moving average. We've got a long signal there, so a good time to buy the stock from a technical point of view as well. And the MACD is pointing up, just crossing the 200, just crossing the zero line there. So yeah, Berkshire Hathaway, it's the BRK.B, a good stock to buy as we get into July. Moving ahead, the second one that I've analyzed and picked is TJX Companies, because it's called TJ Maxx in the United States, and it's called TK Maxx in the UK, but the same parent company. Um, yeah, so overall, the company is thriving and working really well with a strong in-store sales, as I've analyzed. The Q2 results have been strong, and overall, good dividends being paid out, strong inventory turnover, increasing gross margins as well, for TJ Maxx or TJX. And yeah, so strong fundamentals there. Moving on to the charts to look at some of the technicals. A similar setup as looking at the previous chart that we had seen of Berkshire Hathaway. The 200-day moving average, which is the black line, is again pointing upwards. The 50-day moving average is also um, moving in the right direction, and because both of them have a fair distance, maintaining that distance between them, so it's moving up. It's been respecting the 200-day moving average, and this is probably a bounce off. So the 200-day moving average, the MACD is pointing upwards, MACD line. So overall, strong technicals there for a buy trade, and the earnings have being hit very well. There is, of course, the earnings coming up in the next month or so to keep a lookout for. But because we are trading on the daily time frame, we should be all right. Yeah, also just to note that I do use the dollar cost averaging for stocks, so it's um, not getting in and jumping out straight away. But if the trade goes against us, we would be looking at the DCA method, which I've explained in in my book, as well as there's a separate video, so do check that one out on how we would be looking at coming out of the trade profitably or at break even for that matter, but not looking at incurring losses there. Right. So moving on, the third one that I have is Coca-Cola. Again, we know that it's a giant. Coca-Cola is a very strong company in terms of fundamentals. It's got 130 years of brand equity, global company, and when we talk of turndowns or things like there's a global crisis, these consumer products um, keep growing, and Coca-Cola is really at the top of the list. Strong, um, strong dividend payouts for over 60 years, very stable in uncertain times, as I was saying. Some strong fundamentals, and now we move on to the charts to see the technicals. So overall, this is the daily time frame, but if you look at the weekly or the monthly, it has been going up. Overall, um, currently it's at around $70 or so the stock. I believe it should go up by 10 to 15%. It is bouncing off the 200-day moving average again. The 50-day moving average crossed over 200 moving average in the month of February, March, and ever since that it's been sideways, but it's now bouncing off the 200 days, so it should be a good time to buy the stock. The fourth one that I have is Philip Morris. Again, strong fundamentals that the company has. It's transitioning from, and it's been transitioning from the legacy products to newer ones. It's focusing in on innovation and expanding its portfolio. Strong cash flows, of course, and strong dividend yield. It's one of the best dividend payers there in terms of big companies, and growing in more products than one. Strong fundamentals. Moving on to the charts, a very strong technical setup there. The 200-day and the 50-day moving averages are moving almost parallel to each other. It's it's definitely a buy. I probably want to wait for the price to come down and touch the 50-day moving average before it bounces off it. It's really been hugging that, so overall quite good. And the MACD is below the zero line, so it as it turns, if you get a buy signal on the QQE and it moves in the upward down, starts moving in the upward direction, will be a great time to buy. Of course, the earnings coming up, but all previous earnings in recent times have been hit, and strong dividend payouts, so a strong company overall, and it's a good stock for July and moving ahead from there. SAP has been doing really well. Its ERP system is one of the best in the world, and ever since it has moved to the AI integrated systems, it's and moved to a subscription model, has really led to revenue growth as well as brand loyalty and customers sticking in. Yeah, and again, improved margins along with the other things that I talked about. So very strong fundamentals. The technicals also looking really strong with the two moving averages moving almost parallel to each other. A long signal recently came up in the last couple of days. The MACD setup also looks good, pointing up. So a really good stock to buy as we get into July. Okay, so one of the bonus picks here and this is really looking at the current scenario, and that is BAE Systems. Now, with the political uncertainty that's existing at the moment, there is a definite increase in defense spending in um, most of the countries around the world, a lot of countries around the world, and so um, a defense stock like BAE Systems definitely would be gaining as we go, and it has picked up over the last few years, ever since the uncertainty became more in the world. So yeah, increased defense budgets, geopolitical contracts in pipeline, and looking at the technicals, it's been, as I was saying, since February, March, the stock had really taken off, and it's currently bouncing off the 50-day moving average, waiting for buy signal to come in on the QQE indicator. The MACD is just getting ready to move up again now. So as that comes in, can look at buying that. Strong earnings, good dividend payouts, so all good there as well in terms of holding that stock. Right, so that brings us to the end of this feature. Of course, you can get a copy of my books on Amazon. And yeah, well, good luck for July. And if you do have any questions, reach out to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the other side. Happy trading, everyone.